Video is about how to do fission first, and then we'll do fusion. Okay, so the first thing is you'll need a periodic table, and you'll have to look up uranium. Now, most of these that we're doing fission with are at the very bottom of the periodic table, and so you'll find uranium, and you'll write the symbol. Now, when you write it, you need to write it in this format with the number of protons or the atomic number at the bottom, and then the mass number 235 at the top. All right, now this uranium is going to absorb a neutron. So basically, to make it start undergoing fission, it has to have a neutron collide with it. So you put a neutron. Now a neutron is a 0 at the bottom, a 1 at the top. Okay, now what that does is it makes the nucleus unstable and it undergoes fission. All right, now you got to read the problem and it will tell you what part of what it makes. So it's going to make krypton, so you got to write the symbol for krypton, look on the periodic table, and find the atomic number for krypton. That goes at the bottom. It's 36. The mass number that's given in the problem will go at the top. All right, it's also going to release 3 neutrons. So there's a couple different ways you can write it, but you can write it like this: 1, 2. This is kind of the hard way to do it, but maybe it's easier to keep track of all the numbers. 3 neutrons. Okay, and then some other element some other daughter nuclei that we don't know, and that's the task, is to figure out what's the other daughter nuclei. So the way that this works is you can do it by following the law of conservation of mass. If you have 92 on the bottom, that's like 92 protons. 92 plus 0, 92 plus 0 is 92. Now that's on the left side of the arrow. All right? So the bottom numbers on the left side of the arrow have to equal the bottom numbers on the right side of the arrow. So we could add 36 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus some other number that we don't know yet. But if we did, once we know that number, if we have the right number, and if we add all those together, it's going to equal 92. So the easy way is just to take the total from the left side, which is 92, subtract what you know on the right side, which is 36, and 92 minus 36 is 56. And that will tell you the bottom number for the element that's unknown. Now, if you look up number 56 on the periodic table, it happens to be barium, Ba. Now, we're just going to do the same with the top. 235 plus 1 is 236. So all the numbers added together on the top have to equal 236. So if you added all these up, 85 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus some number that we don't know, all those added together have to equal 236. So the easy way is just to take 236, take the number from over here, subtract what you know, 85, because 85, subtract 1, 2, 3, and subtract 3, and it ends up that you get 148. So that's the number that goes at the top. And that is basically what you got to do. That's it on that problem. Why don't you pause the video and see if you can do number 2. And then you can restart the video and see if you did it right. I'll do it here. All right, so plutonium is Pu. It's number 94. If you look it up on the periodic table, and it's 246. Now we're saying that plutonium absorbs a neutron, so add a neutron to it. Now the nucleus becomes unstable and then it breaks apart. That's what fission is. Okay, one of the things that it breaks into, according to the problem, is cesium-134. So we look up cesium on the periodic table. It's number 55, 134 at the top. Okay, plus 2 neutrons, 1 neutron, 2 neutrons, If you don't like writing all the neutrons out, you could just write like 2. A lot of times that's what people do, but I'm just doing it to make it a little bit easier to understand maybe. But anyway, plus some other element that we don't know. So that's what we got to figure out, the other element that we don't know. So 94 plus 0 is 94. So if we add together 55 plus 0 plus 0 plus some other element, it has to equal 94. So the easy way is just to take 94, take what you know, subtract what's given on the other side, 55. And when you take 94, subtract 55, you get 39. And if you look up 39, it's element Y, yttrium, if I'm pronouncing it right. And it's 39 at the bottom. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing at the top. 246 plus 1 is 247. So then what we do is we know that all the numbers added up on the top, all these numbers have to add up to 247. So I just take 247, subtract what I know, 134, subtract 2, and it ends up being 111. So that's the number at the top, 111. Okay, that's it for fission. There's 2 more that you can try. All right, now I'm going to go into fusion, okay? Okay, fusion is when 2 atoms, instead of an atom splitting apart like fission, fusion is the opposite. It's 2 or more atoms combining to make a new one. So let me just show you how to do this one. So you would go carbon, look up its number, it's 12, carbon 12. It's fused with nitrogen 14. Nitrogen's number 7, 14 at the top. And it makes a new atom. Well, what is the new atom? Well, again, you can't lose things. So 6 plus 7 is 13. You have to account for that on the other side. So the number on the bottom on the other side is 13. And if you look up that element, it's aluminum. I like to make sure that you know that one side of the arrow has to equal 13, so does the other side. Okay, same thing with the top numbers. 14 and 12, add those together, that's 26. So the top number over here has to be 26. Okay? All right, sometimes when things fuse, there can be extra neutrons released. So I want to show you one like that. So carbon is 6, 14, because it's carbon 14, plus nitrogen, 15. Nitrogen's number 7 on the periodic table. 15 goes at the top. Okay, they're going to fuse together, and 3 neutrons are released. So let's put the 3 neutrons. 1, 2, 3. If you want, you could write it like this here instead of writing 1, 2, 3. But it doesn't matter. All right. Anyway, now what we're trying to figure out is what's the new element here. So first we'll add together the bottom number. 6 plus 7 is 13. Well, all the bottom numbers added together over here on the other side of the equal sign also have to equal 13. So 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus what number equals 13? Well, that number is 13. So again, we have aluminum. Okay, now we do the top numbers. 15 plus 14 is 29. Okay, so then we got to add this together, and this side has to equal 29 too. So 3, so we got 1, 2, 3, added to some number has to equal 29. Okay, the answer is 26, but you could go 29 minus what's given over here, minus 3, that gives you 26. All right, that's how to do fission and fusion.